Straight to the dawn of your now, I want to sing my man, the incredible Rozelle and DJ Delz.
What's good, what's good? Back up in the building, your boy DJ Delz. Brand new vlog. This is going to be a video response to a video that Elliott Wilson just posted up. He has a hip-hop series on YouTube called The Truth. And on this episode that he just put out that I'm responding to, he talks about what makes an album classic. A lot of people keep talking about Kendrick Lamar's album being incredible, being a future classic. And you know, at the end of the day, I think that we are kind of rushing what we are calling a classic. I mean, it's kind of too soon in my opinion. I'm not hating on Kendrick Lamar. I'm not pulling some kind of shine move and start dogging Kendrick Lamar's album, because I've even said it. The album is incredible. You know, it kind of brings me back to when I was younger, where you listen to an album, it wasn't really commercial, and it just was hip-hop, and it just had great skits, and it just was vibing from beginning to end, and it just sounds... it just sounds right. My video response is basically, what do I think makes a classic album? Now, everything he said, I agree with 100%. He talked about the movement behind the person, definitely, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Wu-Tang Clan, they had, you know, 36 Chambers, which was another point he was talking about, how you had an album beginning to end that was just grooving, it was just knocking, but you had your standout records like Cream, Protect Your Neck, bangers, you know what I mean? Straight bangers, but the album was just flowing beginning to end, nothing but that heat, you know what I mean? At the same time, you had a huge movement. They came back with solo albums, and they were all pretty much classics in my opinion, from Tikal to Cuban Links to Liquid Swords, which to me, Liquid Swords is just as hot as Cuban Links. You know, I mean, you got a lot of classic albums from back in the days, and that's what I'm trying to get at right now. Classic albums take time, you know what I mean, to call them classic. It's not even close to a month yet the album's been out. I mean, I think it even may have came out of my mouth that this could be a future classic album. But at the end of the day, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think that we need to wait. I think we need to let this album marinate, and we got to see how this album does. How is this movement going to be? How is the sound going to keep, like, traveling? Are we going to just keep hearing this album and hearing this album? Are you going to be listening to this album 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Are you going to be listening to that album? I think that's what makes an album a classic, when an album is still getting them spins in your ears, you know what I mean? And you're just like, man, this album's still incredible, like, to this day, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll hear an album and it's dope, and then all of a sudden, like 5 years from now, you're not listening to it anymore, you know what I mean? And if you listen to it again, you just may not be, like, vibing the way, like, you would if you listen to, like, Mobb Deep Infamous album. Like, if you listen to Mobb Deep's Infamous album, like, right now, I put that on, and you love hip-hop, that album beginning to end is banging still. You're gonna be like, yo, shit is so incredible, you know what I mean? It's timeless music, you know? And that goes for any kind of music, not just hip-hop. Any kind of music, rock music, etc., you know what I mean? If you hear the album 10, 20, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, if it's still knocking like it's brand new, then that's a classic in my opinion. And I love the video Elliott did. I love his whole series, The Truth. I love how he's just hitting people over the head with the truth, you know what I mean? Because I feel like hip-hop nowadays so watered down, and it's just like people are just sprinkling sugar on top of shit, and I'm just not feeling that lately, and I really like those videos. So I just want to do this quick video response. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you loving what I'm doing. Follow my Twitter, twitter.com/DJ Delz, and with that said, I'll be back really soon.